But of course, Minister for Information says Parliament and the public must hold the judiciary and the police accountable for the lack of action after attacks on journalists have been reported. The minister lamented that several cases reported to the police and subsequently put before courts have not seen any progress. Delivering a statement in Parliament, Kojo Nkrumah insisted the Information Ministry under his watch is doing everything to protect journalists and called on other bodies to live up to their responsibilities.
The phenomenon of attacks and intimidation of journalists is gaining notoriety in our republic. Data available to the Ministry of Information suggests that the trend is ascending. Increasingly, various actors in our society, state actors, non-state actors, political party operatives, assigns of businesses, and everyday citizens are resorting to attacks and intimidation of journalists as a means of expressing their displeasure. In the matter of investigation, the office was instrumental in investigating the attack on a CTFM journalist, Mr. Caleb Kuda. The report by the office determined that the handling of Mr. Kuda was excessive and unprofessional. Subsequently, the National Security Ministry dissolved the SWAT teams that operated under it and returned officers to their mother agencies. Other incidents of reported attacks on journalists have also been investigated by the office, with findings conveyed to security and prosecutorial agencies for action. Mr. Speaker, under the function of accountability, the mechanism has not been very successful, I regret to say. The need to hold the investigative, prosecutorial, and judicial agencies accountable for the incidents reported to them cannot be overemphasized. Holding the judiciary and prosecution accountable on a sustained basis must be the norm.
IFOWA Central Rashid Pelpo has also been talking about threats on journalists, with special mention of our colleague Rasta Sasaridongo.
Since the death of Ahmed Swali, we thought that Ghanaians may have learned some sense, that the leadership and the people would have learned some sense in handling journalists in Ghana. The Speaker, since then, 10 journalists, as reported by the Committee to Protect Journalism, journalists are hiding because they are afraid that if they expose themselves, they'll be hurt. Mr. Speaker, several other journalists, including the well-known Asaridonko, who reports on situations of illegal mining, deep destruction of our society, himself is hiding because his life is threatened. Mr. Speaker, we can't agree to project this society in this manner, that the records that have been portrayed show that Ghana is one of the worst countries where journalists are at risk because of what they do. So the records are there, and I was happy that the Honorable Sam George brought these things out very clearly. I was also disturbed and surprised that a very objective journalist like Manasseh Azuri had to run away to South Africa since after the death of the Ahmed Swali.
He also wants the National Media Commission resourced to deal with some of these issues.
For Kaipe North, Honorable Patrick Boama and Honorable Ayimedu, you must ensure, the Special Budget Committee must ensure that the National Media Commission is properly resourced, because right now it is the Ministry of Information that supports the National Media Commission's work in ensuring press freedom. But the Ministry of Information in 2022 was given less than 1 million Ghana cedis for its goods and services. Less than 1 million Ghana cedis. If you even look at how much Honorable Kennedy Japan is alleged to have given delegates for James the last ended, it is more than that 1 million Ghana cedis. We need to make sure that we put our money where our mouth is and ensure that press freedom, Mr. Speaker, the press are the ones who carry our work here. We need to put our money where our mouth is and ensure that press freedom is truly well protected. Mr. Speaker.
Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante joins me with more from Parliament. Kweku, we heard the minister briefing the House on the dialysis situation at Korle Bu. How have MPs been responding to this?
So because they don't have budget.
Hello, Kweku Asante. Kweku Asante, unmute for me.
Well, yes, the Health Minister, Kweku Asante, has just concluded his presentation on the dialysis crisis that is currently facing the country over the last few months. In fact, highlights of his speech that he has just delivered on the floor is that government is going to pay that 4 million debt owed the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital so that Korle Bu can, as it were, facilitate the actions at the renal unit of the hospital. He says they've made a request to the Finance Ministry. The Finance Minister has approved that that 4 million Ghana cedis must be paid. He's also said that government is seeking to renegotiate the contract that Korle Bu has with that South African company that is in charge of producing the raw materials and other consumables for the dialysis machines at the hospital. Those have been the highlight of the Health Minister's speech that has just concluded about a while ago. Currently on the floor, we have the former chief whip from the minority side, MP for Asawase, a member of the health committee, Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, who says that it's unfortunate that government had to sit aloof for so long for these crises to deepen before they can go on. He's also been talking about the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, their proposal to charge almost 700 Ghana cedis for the renal unit. He says that case has not been made, and if government through parliament allows that to happen, all other hospitals are going to increase. It is also going to mean that private hospitals are also going to increase. It is going to cause considerable damage to a lot more people who have kidney issues. So clearly, Muntaka Mohammed Muntaka, who is still speaking, is not really excited about government handling of the entire issue. He also says Korle Bu's case to increase the cost for renal dialysis treatment has not been made up. He does not support that agree, and that is the case he's making on the floor.
What other business has the MPs been dealing with?
The minister has been answering questions from all over the country about health facilities, vaccines, amongst others. We expect that the National Security Minister will come to the floor any moment from now to brief MPs on the disturbances that we saw in Garu. You will recall that last week, Parliament ordered that the Finance Minister comes before Parliament to the National Security Minister to come before Parliament to brief MPs on this issue. So any moment from now, we expect that he will come in to come and brief MPs on the specific issues. The number of bills that will also be dealt with before Parliament adjourns for the day.
Kweku Asante is our parliamentary affairs correspondent. Definitely there's more we'll be bringing in our subsequent bulletins from Parliament.